morning from wherever you're watching us from. Thank you so much for joining Impact Dialogues this morning. I do appreciate you for making time. I know today we started a little bit late, but it's a holiday. Kila mtu anaenda holiday yake ya kidogo. And today we are going to do a newspaper review again. But before I get into it, saki niongee peke yangu, and I can see I have a beautiful lady on my right side and then a gentleman on my left side. I'm going to first let them introduce themselves before we look at what has been trending in the country. What are the headlines that are hitting? What are the headlines that are top on our newspapers today? I'm going to start with the lady. Shiro, karibu Oracle TV.
Asante. Thank you for having me yet again.
Yeah.
My name is Wanjiro from Muranga, Katanga. Nimetoka huko, salamu mingi za mlima.
Salamu tumepokea. Okay, thank you so much. Ngugi, karibu.
Asante sana. Just to say that pengine mimi nimesahaulika, nimesikia the lady ameintroduciwa kama beautiful lady. Lakini sasa boy child hapa hajaambiwa ni handsome, lakini sawa. Anyway, my name is Ngoge Ndegwa. Executive Director for Star WK, which is a CBO based in Kiambu. An organization that is dealing with leadership and governance among the youth, both training and growing leaders for tomorrow. And I'm happy to be here for the second time.
Yeah, for the second time. Actually, I am pretty sure that the offices are quite familiar with you guys because they've been here before. But in case you didn't catch them last time, you caught them this time. And now, getting right into it, I think one of the stories that is hitting the headline this morning, actually, since the court lifted the ban on the swearing in of the DP-elect. That's you to say DP, ashakuwa DP anyway. The swearing in is going to be happening today. But before even we get into the newspaper, Shiro, what do you think about the whole situation?
Syllabus imekimbia sana until we no longer know where we are heading as a country. But we have learned a lot from both Rigathi Gachagua and Abraham Kindiki. It's a matter of choice on who to learn from. But I guess it has been so fast. That was so fast. So fast. Very fast.
Syllabus ilikimbizwa. That's according to Shiro. Ngugi, what is your take on the whole DP saga?
As I had said earlier somewhere else, that I'm not surprised that this has taken such a short time to deal with. And coming from the angle that it is about self-interest, because I would say it is. Because we are not seeing the same with the SHA and SHIF or whatever it is called. We are not seeing the same with other issues that are affecting Kenyans. And I think it's a good time for Kenyans to learn. Yes,
it's
that just a tuko kivyetu. Sisi ndio opposition.
Yani si tuko tu hapo.
Tuko tu.
But looking into our dailies today, I think I'm going to start with the Daily Nation. We see what they've put for us in there. Now, the Daily Nation, Kindiki is on the front page, of course, who is set to be our DP in just a few hours. By the way, his swearing in is going to be happening. I think Sherehe Ishaanza, because between 9 a.m. and 2 p.m. They said between 9 a.m. and 2 p.m. he's going to be sworn in as the third deputy president of Kenya. And Daily Nation imemfanyia justice, second in command. That is what they're saying. And you can get that story on page 2 to 3. They're saying that Professor Kithure Kindiki, a former teacher of law, is set to occupy the second most powerful office in the country after the noisy and messy ousting of Mr. Rigathi Gachagua. This is after the High Court decision yesterday afternoon took the last hurdle on his way to taking oath of office. That is what they have on the front cover of the page. Then, of course, a few stories in here and there. But Nona Pia Gachagua's fight for survival. And then also Musalia Mudavadi yesterday was appointed as the Interior CS, acting Interior CS. The Sun naona pia yao the headline is still the same. Kindiki, a new era. That is what the Star is saying this morning. But I think the Nation actually did justice with the picture. That is what the Star says. Of course, it's all about Kindiki. And then the Standard, still the same. So leo kwa daily zote wameamua ni Kindiki or rather our yet to be new president. So I don't know about you guys. Let me start with the gentleman.
Yeah.
Ni gani unaona walifanya justice? Which headline did they do justice today?
I think what did justice there is the Standard, because on the front page there we are seeing what awaits Kindiki. Because now what awaits Kindiki is the question that is in the minds of everyone that is interested in this issue. And to start with, I don't think the use of the phrase second in command is justice enough, because it's just semantics. And going by how fast the former, maybe if I am allowed to call him that, was hurdled out of office, I think the bar has been lowered for the deputy president office. And lowered in this sense that it's easier to remove, as now we can see, a deputy president from office than it is even to remove a governor or even a CS. So if it's that easy, within 2 weeks you can just hurdle out an entire holder of an entire office out of office, and this is the second in command, then the use of the phrase second in command is just merely semantics. And it holds no ground. There are other people who or other quarters that are more powerful than his. But the use of what awaits Kindiki, I think, is more, it's on point, because now from now or now henceforth we are going to want to see how it works out for him, or how it works out for his office, or how it works out for his work to the nation.
Okay.
Yes.
And Shiro, which is your favorite this morning?
I think you didn't come with my favorite.
Which is your favorite? We need to get it next time.
The Taifa Leo said,
he imeenda. I did see that yesterday. Actually, I did see that yesterday. And I'm like, the one who does the headlines for Taifa Leo. Yo, congratulations. Yeah, Taifa Leo inasema he imeenda. We're going to get that next time. So what we're going to do, lady and gentlemen, I think kwa sababu alikuwa amesema yeye ni Kindiki away, we're going to give you that one. And then maybe Shiro, you can look into the stuff.
But just to add something else, I think the one on the what is that, the Star?
Yeah, Kindiki, a new era.
A new era. I think that one he imeenda.
That was the headline for Taifa Leo.
I think the use of that one, a new era, is out of place kwa sababu now it's not new, it's what has been, it's a continuation.
It's a continuation of an era.
He was already influential even. Yeah, he was already influential even before.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And as you can see, it is all about a deputy president, expected deputy president Kithure Kindiki. And at you viewers back at home, he is going to be sworn in today. Actually, the ceremony has already started. And I don't know if I should say I liked how things moved fast yesterday, because immediately the conservatory orders were lifted. Gazette notice ikatoka. There is a committee that was set up. I think they worked overnight to make sure that actually last I checked last night, they were trying to see if it is KICC ama ni Uhuru Gardens. Bado walikuwa wanajaribu kuvalue. But I don't know what you think about this speed, Ngugi.
It's dangerous for the nation, and we were having a conversation earlier with my friend Shiro here, and I was telling her that it's a bit unhealthy for the nation and even for the government, because now we are setting new, or the government has set new precedences that it wouldn't want to have otherwise. And the speed itself, and you can see that we have had 4 gazette notices released in a single night.
In a single night.
4 gazette notices released in a single night is a very unhealthy speed, because it even shows that the government is a bit insecure, and they are also afraid that maybe something else might come out of the courts, because now by the fact that now we have a holiday today on the swearing, which I think is common practice, but by the mere fact that we have a holiday, it means that now the courts cannot receive new cases, cannot be filed. So it's also about trying to ensure that the other quarter does not run, and ensure that what they want does not go on. But it also portrays the government as a government that is a bit keen on ensuring that injustice persists. which is also a bad precedence.
Okay.
That the courts appear to also have been hurried up, which is also showing that apart from both houses of the parliament, the judiciary is also seemingly in the pockets of those who are in leadership. Or even if not pockets, the judiciary is also scared of those who are in the executive, and so there is no independence for all institutions that we might have placed our hopes on.
All right.
Yeah.
And I think my producer had put up the Daily Nation. Yeah, that is the star. Kindiki Era, thank you so much. That is the star. If our producer could get us the Daily Nation, I want to look at it first. And we did say the headline ya kwanza ni gani. Yeah, thank you so much. That is it there. That is our headline for today on your Daily Nation. Now on page 2, the story starts on page 2, and a second in command, that is where you get all the story. You will get I think I'm going to read for you just the first 2 paragraphs. Alafu tenda kujitafutia hiyo ingine. So Professor Abraham Kithure Kindiki, actually most people didn't know anaitwa Abraham. Funny thing.
Majina ya M-Pesa.
He is a former teacher of law, and he sought of course to occupy the seat today. That is after the whole noisy, messy also of Mr. Rigathi Gachagua, and of course this is after the High Court lifted ban. There was a conservatory order that was there that had been put there to prevent him from being sworn in, but iliondolewa jana. The High Court did that yesterday, and immediately we were told that we are going to have a new deputy president. You can get that story on page 2. Now on page 3, they continue with the Kindiki story. XCS was destined for topmost post. This is where you get everything you need to know about Kindiki. If you're just hearing about Kindiki, go to the Nation page 2. Page 3. Hapo ameweka everything that Kindiki has done. Born in July 16, 1972. Wow. In the Rakanidi village, the school he attended, where he graduated, most of his milestones. I think you're going to get that on page 3 of the Daily Nation. That is if you want to get more on that. And then on page 4, the same thing. Kenyans welcome new DP as he replaces Gachagua. I think Leo, it's his day everywhere. I think we are going to look into the Standard next. Tuone ni nini zinakuja hapo juu.
Yes. Where do we start from?
We start from page 1.
Yeah. And I can see that what awaits Kindiki, and we're saying Abraham Kithure Kindiki will this morning be sworn in as the deputy president to succeed the embattled Rigathi Gachagua. Yes. And so I think that is what everyone is waiting on to see, and I think the goalposts are also changing, because we had earlier been told that it will be at 10 a.m.
At 10 a.m. yeah.
And now we are told it could be between 9 to 2, anywhere in between. So I think on the second page of this newspaper, we can see that Kenya's image under scrutiny as envoys warn on abductions.
On abductions. I think we're going to get later into that, into the abductions. We first finish with the Kindiki story. Anything about Kindiki again?
Kindiki to finally get the coveted prize after lengthy wait.
Yeah.
And
actually, I think the lengthy wait, I remember when they were trying to choose between the running mate then for President William Ruto. Kindiki had been chosen, and then he stepped down for outgoing Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua. I think that is what the Standard mean by the lengthy wait. Finally, imekuja. Finally, imekuja.
And we can see also the long walk ahead as Kindiki takes office of Kenya's deputy president. Also in line with the headline we had seen about now what awaits Kindiki. And Rigathi hits and misses in 2 years tenure.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Interesting.
Yeah.
We look at what the Star says about Kindiki, and then maybe we can move forward.
The Star also talks about Kindiki in the first page, front page. Wait over for CS assumption of office committee met on Thursday evening to plan for swearing in. Kindiki, a new era. function to take place anytime between 9 a.m. and 2 p.m. today, according to law.
According to law, yeah, they had said that. I think it is the inauguration. The Daily Nation said that the function will start officially at 10 a.m. at KICC. Last night they were still struggling to see kama itakuwa KICC ama itakuwa Uhuru Gardens, but I think they settled on a location, and we are waiting for that. Actually, the event has already started.
Okay.
Yeah.
So in the second page we see change of guard, out goes Gachagua, in comes Kindiki.
Change of guard.
Yes,
that's a nice one.
So in the first paragraph, the Star says, last evening the Assumption of Office Committee was meeting to plan for the swearing-in ceremony of Kithure Kindiki. The function is expected to take place anytime between 9 a.m. and 2 p.m. according to the law. But last night the committee was toying with holding the ceremony at KICC or Uhuru Gardens. There you go.
Yeah, but I think they did set. I think most of what our newspapers are talking about today is about Kindiki. Kindiki.
But there is an interesting statement here. Kenyans are watching closely as this political saga unfolds, marking a new chapter in the nation's governance and leadership.
That's true. And as we Kenyans watch, because we are all Kenyans, for what is going to unfold, I'm sure. What do you think are the lessons that we should take from this?
The first lesson, especially in politics, which is not a really fair game. Politics is never fair. Never expect justice when you're playing politics. I've learned something to do with loyalty. And I remember someone told me how loyalty is paid in installment, but disloyalty is paid like instantly. And we saw it with Rigathi Gachagua. Within 2 weeks, you could see Oscar Sudi saying 2 weeks, and it was final.
Wow.
Within 2 weeks, he was out of office. Now he's actually now confirmed he's a former deputy president. So I've learned a lot about loyalty and such. Then we come in with Robert Greene's 48 rules of power. The rule number 1: you should never outshine your master.
Never try to outshine your master. Okay.
It will fall back on you ruthlessly.
Yeah, interesting. And even as we await, because he is going to be our DP by 2 p.m. as they say. Ngugi,
yes.
What are we expecting as Kenyans? You know, Kindiki has been the CS Interior, fighting bandits here and there. And there was a time actually Kenyans were so proud of him. Kenyans were so happy about him. What are we expecting? He is a teacher of law, of course. And nini zake zote zimewekwa hapo. That is the standard. A producer has just put it there. That is the standard. Kindiki nini yake imewekwa hapo. What do we say? Qualifications zimewekwa hapo, zimelainwa all his qualification. So what are we expecting from him as a deputy president?
Sadly, in Kenya, that is, and in most of African countries and politics in most of African countries, you will find that sadly that what one has qualified, or maybe what you will say is what makes one look more professional, doesn't count when it comes to politics. And sadly, despite all that Kindiki has achieved in terms of studying law and what he has stood for before, will not count going forward, because now this is a new ground in politics, where he might want, now based on what has happened, he might want to look more politically correct than correct in terms of what the constitution says and what Kenyans need. I think that is also to be desired. But going forward, I think in all fairness, Kindiki is a very good guy. He seems to be someone who has it together, and someone who is brilliant. We have seen that he has performed in the docket that he was before, and I think he has succeeded where others have failed, because we had seen earlier the issues of bandits and what have you, and he has worked towards that. But he bears one stain that I don't think he will ever shake off any sooner, and that is the stain of what we experienced with the Gen Z movement, that we have seen abductions, we have seen young people who have been maimed, young people who have been killed, we have seen blood that has been shed even on camera, live on camera, and we have seen the rise of what was known as a special squad that was earlier used for killing, and this is a worrying trend. and he goes on to a different office without having really cleaned the mess that we have seen. Nothing has been explained about those who are still missing. Nothing has been explained about those who are killed. Nothing has been explained conclusively about what we discussed the last time we were here, about bodies that were found in Kware.
Okay.
And that is worrying now, and that is why I'm saying, even despite all that he has studied in law, it wouldn't count really much. But a lot is to be desired. I think Kenyans are looking forward to gaining from his experience as a professor of law in trying to advise, though he is not the legal advisor of the government, but he can try to do what the deputy president has been saying all along, that I advise the president where he sees fit. And I think that is to be desired. Probably he could be seen as someone who is level-headed, who can advise now the president on what to do, what not to do, what the people require now, and what people need over now the politics and the shenanigans that we are seeing.
Okay.
So I believe a lot is to be desired, but at the same time it's an awkward situation because there is so much stain that he cannot shake off. Yes.
And speaking about that stain, Shiro, we have seen him perform in the interior ministry, especially when it came to fighting banditry. He really did a lot. Others who came before him were unable to do. Do you think that based on that one fact that he did perform in that ministry, do you think that Kenyans are going to have confidence in him now?
I don't think Kenyans right now care much about who is in office or not. When I think we had public participations for the impeachment of the deputy president, and you could hear Kenyans very agitated, saying we don't want any of them, want all of them home. It's only a change of, is it a change of, the same monkey is different forest.
Very true.
You know, personally, I'm not expecting much. We have wasted 2 years and a half in politics doing nothing. We have students who are struggling at home, who are to join universities, but because of this funding model, things did not work out for them. We have people who are dying because of transition from NHIF to SHIF and all that. We are a confused nation right now. But again, we give him a benefit of doubt. We hope he will get everything straight. But looking at the position of a deputy president, he's basically an errand person, nothing much. He's ni yule kazi enda pale kuja hapa kama yule ya Dennis Itumbi, come here, go there. You know, it's just an errand person. His work is to aid the president. And I think that is where the fallout came between the Rigathi Gachagua and William Ruto. One became so radical than the other, and you know, the water could not hold, the pot could not hold both of them. So we can give Kindiki a benefit of doubt. He looks like a sharp man. Even from this photo.
Even from the photo on the newspaper, it looks very sharp.
He looks very sharp, very, very composed, well together. You can only wish him the best.
You can only wish him the best.
Especially in a time like this when Kenyans are very knowledgeable. You see the time ya kitambo, like people you never used to read. Right now we have a reading generation. Everyone is well informed. You cannot come to with mere, you know, zile politics and all that. People will question you. So ajue anaingia kwa ofisi na generation yenye iko si ile enzi.
So are we looking at a situation where in the first let me say in his first months before Zoe Kiti, are we looking at a situation where Kenyans are now going to be holding him accountable? Because ukiangalia the list of things that got Gachagua out, do you think that Kenyans are going to be at a place where we are now holding you accountable to one hata kama utafanya the same mistake? Ngugi?
I think that is constant. You know, again, as I had said earlier, even with all that, and as our good friend has said here, that Kenyans are tired. I think akili yao to some point imetoka huko. But even as it may be, I would love to say that politically, you know, the process that now we are experiencing right now, its significance politically is not just merely to remove a deputy president and to place another. Its significance politically is to sell fear to the incoming deputy president and all other deputy presidents that we may have. Its significance was merely to put, if I may use those words, to put the office of the deputy president in its place, which is not what the constitution envisioned. The constitution envisioned a situation where the deputy president will have some space to be themselves and to work for Kenyans just as part of the presidency. But now what we are having is a lowered bar of experiencing a vice presidency like we had before. So I think that will come also into play into selling fear to His Excellency Kindiki in future, and telling him now, if you saw what happened to the former, it can also happen to you. You are just merely here to be sent, as Shiro has said. So I think even as we say what Kenyans are looking forward to, they will definitely want to put into account. But it is also good to know now going forward, it will also be difficult for him, because he will be merely, he's already an image of his boss. Even before he swears in, he's already an image, a striking image of his boss, because you will see there were some reports recently about a road that was launched by him, I think as a CS, that is merely a promise long after he did the same. So we have a Kindiki who was seen as a striking image of a deputy president in the past, His Excellency Ruto, who was also over-promising, and stadia were not built, roads were not built. In a similar fashion, His Excellency Kindiki launched a road that I don't remember the name of the road, that has not been built even now. So I think
we are looking at holding him accountable for a while. But we do really hope him the best. You can follow that. You can follow the proceedings. I think they've already started. They are going to be swearing him in today. And I think all the newspapers have done justice. I don't think there is a newspaper today in Kenya that doesn't have the face of His Excellency, our Deputy President.
He has done well for himself.
He's already an excellency.
And I think I love the fact that with him, like, everyone knew him. I think he came at a time when banditry had really disturbed us, and he came and tried to, shift a few things here and there. But we can't wait to see what our former CS Interior and our new Deputy President has for us. That is for Kindiki. On the Daily Nation, you can get it in the first pages. That is page 1, page 2, page 3. Actually, if you want to know more about him, I think the Daily Nation is the best fit for you, because they've listed where he was born, where he graduated, obtained his master's, while he's really a professor of law, and everything that he has achieved is on the Daily Nation. That is on page 3, and I think I also saw it on the Standard. That is on page 6. You can also check out the Standard, the long walk as Kindiki takes office as the Deputy President of Kenya. You can also check that one on the Standard in case you want to know more about him. And now, what happens to Gachagua? Now that we have a new Deputy President, what happens to Gachagua now?
I cry for our son from Rima. That was fast. His story was just too fast. I was engaging with Dego. And we were saying he was just a first-time MP, just a one-term MP. Then from there he became a deputy president, which is a very drastic, shoot up. And reflecting on that, I think I embrace the stages.
Embrace the stages.
Pole bani ya haraka kushoot. I think time when he was admitted in hospital, where he addressed the media. He likened himself with Simon Makonde, the story of Simon Makonde. But again, we wish him all the best. We hope he's peaceful. We hope he's healthy. And we hope the court will do what?
We'll do
Going forward.
The court will salvage his political career because now it's in their hands.
That's true.
Yes.
That's very true. And now moving on swiftly, on the Daily Nation page 6, it's about Gachagua. The lawyers are saying that they are still going to put up a fight. And then also on page 7, there's a headline there that says Gachagua has an option to fight for his political life. And also the court ruling on DP draws both criticism and support. You can read more about that in the Daily Nation. That is on page 7. I don't know if on the Standard you have anything about Gachagua.
Yeah, we had seen something on Gachagua here. The procedural blunders that cost Gashagua's lifeline.
Okay.
And these include maybe the force, lack of foresight maybe on the side of his lawyers. On they say that the former DP's lawyers served the initial parties and left those that later joined in the case.
Wow.
So I think trying to analyze the goings on in the court in the past few weeks. So I think that is it.
That is it.
Yes.
Do you have anything in the Star
I can't see
about
anything.
Gachagua? I think that's just it. But we really do hope our outgoing deputy president.
I think there is also another one here that I had seen, that the irony of a mountain that smiles and frowns all at the same time.
I love journalists with their headlines.
Yes.
Honestly.
Because on one side, Murima is frowning
smiling.
thoroughly. He is smiling thoroughly because of Kindiki, their
that's
son,
true.
and also at the same time frowning thoroughly because of
Gachagua. That's why you're caught in between.
Yes.
You don't know whether to smile or whether to. But we do wish him.
is the situation of saying Mungu bariki wengine sasa.
Hizi baraka ni
Ni
mingi
mingi.
sana.
Hatujui tulia ama tucheke.
I was listening to Omoshwa now. And he was saying, nyinyi watu wa mlima tutawapea cha nguvu kitu yenu.
Actually, I think our producer has done justice for us. Those are the proceedings right from KICC. They are ongoing. We are going to be having a new deputy president. It's just a matter of hours. And I'm sure, just like me, Kenyans can't wait to see what is going to be happening and what the new deputy president has in store for us. Because we have seen him perform in the Interior Ministry. We have seen him do a lot of things people were not able to do, or CSs that came before him were not able to do. And I'm sure Kenyans are waiting eagerly. As much as there is this political heat, kuna watu bado tu wamengoja tu bahali tuone ni nini Kindiki atani. And people came out. What do you think about that turnout, Ngugi?
I think that was bound to happen. And again, kudos to the team that was committee that was organizing that.
Okay.
Because as I told you earlier, I think they had such a short notice to mobilize.
Short, yeah, that's true.
Also goes also into looking into matters of security, because again, you know, with such a short notice to organize for such a big event that has such a big magnitude in terms of security, then it might have taken a lot. But I saw yesterday that the PS had extended an invitation to the residents of Nairobi to attend, which also leaves a lot to be desired in terms of security and on their side. And but it's a good turnout, as I can see.
It's a good turnout.
And
I think people came out.
And I think
people really did come out.
And also think it's a monumental time for the country, because again, even the entire case by Gachagua also helps to open up the constitution and to see what loopholes exist and where we are, and the ability of our constitution 2010 to defend itself. So I think it's also a monumental time, both sides.
That's true. That's it on our new deputy president. I was about to say Rigathi Gachagua. I think most of us are going to miss Rigiji.
Very much.
I think I want to know from both of you, what is that one thing you're going to miss from our outgoing deputy president, the truthful man?
I was about to say that, but I think I don't know. He was just a funny character. There's a lot of memories you have of him, especially proclaiming himself as a truthful man. You know,
and there's a keen listener of the ground.
Yes, the protection, the we'll miss him. The dances, the songs of his songs, you know.
And I think for Kenya this time around we had a very funny deputy president.
Yes.
He was funny
Very
to an
funny.
extent. Googie, what are you going to miss about the outgoing?
There is a lot to miss him for, and I think one of them includes his bravado. And the fact that he is a free-spirited leader.
Yes.
We don't make many of those nowadays. And he is honest, and that he's more inclined towards what people are saying, which is a very good thing for a leader. He has been consistent on saying that mimi nasikiza ground, mimi ni mtu ya ground, which is a very good thing for a leader. That you are well aware that you do not merely work by on your own instructions, but on the instructions of the people. And I think even for we as people who are maybe outside and inside of politics, it's a thing that we will desire to see even among other leaders, that we have leaders that respect the fact that they were elected by the people, and only the people can instruct them. So I think I will miss that about him, and I will miss one other aspect about him that I think they have in common with the former late President Mwai Kibaki. Apart from being free-spirited, he doesn't care what you think about him. Because you will see even the former President Kibaki will say things that most will consider unpresidential. We hadn't seen, I think even before Mwai Kibaki, people hadn't seen a president that is more open when speaking and says what is in their heart.
No matter what you're thinking about it.
So I think that is a good one for him, and I think I'm expecting a lot from him, more than I was expecting before now when he was in office. And whether or not he retains it, because now that is a gone case, and whether or not the courts allow him to vie next time, I think I expect more politically from him. Because now he has more latitude now to defend the people of Mount Kenya. He has more latitude to defend the issues that are affecting the people, including farmers, which is, I think are most of his followers. And I think now he has more latitude to do justice to his followers, because now he has gained a massive following than he had before. Yes.
That's it. I think we are going to miss that truthful man, Rigiji. Rigiji.
Yeah, he's going nowhere.
Actually,
I think he's going nowhere, because
I think we are about to see we are about to see him a different light of him politically.
Yes.
That is, if the court agrees, if the court allows him to go back politically, if they salvage his political career. I think we are about to see a big deal from Gachagua.
Yes.
Yeah. And our producer had put up live proceedings right from KICC. That is where the swearing in is going on. Make sure you follow that so you can be a witness. Yeah, there at KICC they are waiting to. You can see Nairobi Governor Johnson Sakaja there. I think you can see Amason, the Speaker of the Senate. That is Amason Kingi. I think most of them are there. I think all of the leaders are there. All of the leaders are there. Make sure you're following those proceedings, and you can see that turnout is not that bad. Considering the fact that it was very abrupt. The Gazette notice was just given last night. We had more than there were a lot of Gazette notices jana from the committee to the public holiday, but najua yenye mulishika ni a public holiday. Do keep following live proceedings from KICC as we await on our new deputy president. And now moving on swiftly to the dailies. I see on page 10 we have the story of Karega Mutahi, the man who chose his destiny. You want to read more about him, you can go ahead and read more about him. He was the professor who never passed through the traditional secondary schooling. I think that's an interest for someone who might want to know more about him. And then I think that's just it on the first pages of the Daily Nation. That is what is important on it today. You can go ahead and read the opinion corner. any of the story that you like today, do make sure you get your dailies. It is good to know what is going on in your country. And I can see the bills have been posted on all the newspapers. I don't know if they are in the Standard. I saw it on the Star and in the Daily Nation. The proposed business law amendment bill. I think I love this part of transparency. Sure, I don't think I don't know what you think about this. Nowadays, despite all the flaws that we've seen, the small tiny flaws, everywhere there has to be challenges. With this government, if there's something we've seen with President William Ruto's government, is the transparency of it. I don't know what you think about that.
Again, I think it's all about the bureaucracy. They have to be published, so they do publish and all that. But yes, they are very transparent, and we love that. It's a good one.
Okay.
Yes.
Ngugi, what do you think about the transparency in the government?
I think it's a good one, and now, especially now that I also saw a similar thing about transparency with the parliament and bills, where Kenyans are allowed to air their views online and on the I think the site for the parliament. But I think where now they draw the line is on public participation. It is very brilliant, and it is very good, and it is commendable that we can have such a publication. But now, this is a little bit too late, because now you are being informed about what is happening.
That's true.
You are not being informed on whether you accept what is going to happen to you or not. You are being informed about what is going to happen to you. So I think this is good, but to be fair to the people, it is also good that they go hand in hand in terms of seeing the same efforts on public participation. And what have you. Yes.
Interesting. And maybe we check on our last stories, because my producer tells me we are almost out of time. There is a story I saw in the Standard about disappearances and abductions. And apparently this has drawn the attention of the convoys. I'm going to, this is the Daily Nation. Let me read for you the first two paragraphs on the Daily Nation. The European diplomatic missions in Nairobi have raised concerns over the spiraling wave of abductions, arbitrary arrests and disappearances, urging President William Ruto to ensure that the rule of law prevails. These are ambassadors from Denmark, Finland, Germany, Ireland, Netherlands. We have Norway, Sweden, Switzerland, and the UK. These diplomats are calling for attention to be given to the issue of abductions, the issue of people disappearing. And I think I did see the same story on the Standard. And I think the Standard has put it a little bit clearer. Kenya's image under scrutiny as envoy warns on abduction. Shiro, what do you think about this?
I think the state just wants to intimidate those who are speaking boldly, especially a girl like Maverick Kaoko.
Maverick Kaoko,
and the Wajir MCA, I can see them there. I think it's all about intimidation. They don't want to hear any voice of opposition against them, which is not a good thing. The constitution mandates us to speak freely, express our views. And this is a democratic country. We should be allowed to talk and give our views. But again, it must come with responsibilities. As we give out our views, let us do so in decorum. Yes.
In decorum.
Yes.
Yeah, please do so in decorum. That is what I got from that. Ngugi, what's your take on the abduction and also the envoy calling for? Because for us to capture their attention, that means that the matter is critical. And we've seen a lot of abductions of late, especially during the protests. Abductions zilikuwa mingi, killings, disappearances. What's your take on that?
I think we are at a critical time now, and it is very sad. I think it's very unfortunate that we have people who have disappeared and we do not know up to now where they are. We have similar cases of people like Mwenda Binjiwe. I don't think whether he was ever found. And now we have Wajir MCA, I think, who people had speculated had been found dead, but that was not the case.
Yeah,
so people are still asking where he is. And now we have a string of many others, including young people whose names we still do not know, because they have not gotten the same limelight. So I think this is sad for the nation. It pulls us back, or maybe peels back on what we have gained, the gains that we have gained over the years. Now we are in the same league as countries as Uganda. We are in the same league as countries that otherwise would have seen Kenya as the ideal country. So I think we are going backwards instead of, we have 2 steps backwards instead of going forward. So I think it's sad, and also paints a very bad image of of the state. We have seen the same with the issue on the tax who are taken back to their countries and who had sought asylum here, which is a continuation of a bad image by the government that seems not to really take care of our image outside there.
We are still waiting on President William Ruto, of course, to answer, because I'm very sure that he is going to, speak about it maybe in one of his events. On Sundays, he's always somewhere. So we are expecting that maybe perhaps somewhere around this Sunday, he's going to speak about that, because it has been an issue that has, been in the mouths of Kenyans for quite a while. And we are hoping that it's going to be sorted out. And and
now, just a minute, I'm sorry. And now that I think the new deputy president will take his position in the office in Harambee Annex or what have you, I think it's also a good opportunity for the president now, under the order of the president, to instruct the deputy president to ensure that as the former CS and now the deputy president, under the instructions of the president, finds information on whereabouts of these people who are abducted during his tenure as the CS, and also explains, ensures that Kenyans have information on where their whereabouts and what happened to them and where we are headed, and that justice is served. Because remember, one of the promises of the president when they were campaigning was that we will never see abductions take place. It is a good moment for the president to redeem himself by saying, fulfilling that promise. So I think it's a good opportunity for both of them to clean themselves. Yes.
And also speaking about maybe the DP, the new DP taking over the issue, he has dealt with bandits. He has dealt with bandits. Do you think that this would be the perfect because we also spoke about that thing that he had about what happened during the Gen Z protest. If he happens to take over on the issue of abductions, if he happens to maybe come up with a solution or solve it, do you think that we are looking at a position where Kenyans are going to, regain that confidence in him?
I'm reading an article on the abductions hurting Kenyans' global image.
That is on page?
Page 16.
Page 16 of the Star. Yeah.
And one line says, according to human rights organizations, more than 34 forced disappearance cases have been linked to anti-government protests. So that traces it back to from 25th of June, because that is when we had the major protest happening, up to date. And he was in the docket of interior security. He should have sorted all these things out. He should not wait for becoming a deputy president for things to work. But again, let's hope he will work on it.
Okay.
It's so sad to see disappearances and people being intimidated just because they are talking their minds and trying to air their views. It is very sad.
Yeah, we are still waiting on the president to maybe speak about that, about what the envoys says, because it was actually directed to him that he should really take caution and take care of that particular issue. And I think we will not be doing justice if we go without speaking about the lecturers' strike. I didn't see it in the Daily Nation. I think I saw it somewhere in the Standard. I am not sure if it is in the Standard or the Star, but I did see something about the lecturers.
Yeah,
it's in the
exams at risk.
Yeah, it's in the standard. So the lecturers strike. I think it was on on Wednesday. They announced their strike on Tuesday, and the strike is going on.
Yeah.
And I don't know what you people think about this.
Yes.
In the midst of the crisis that
Yeah.
we are going, because just the other day during the ministerial committee on the global schools feeding, a deputy, not a deputy president, Kindiki, no, the president, Kindiki, it's okay.
Yeah.
No, the president did say that the government right now is ready to transition to JSS. Now, I know the strike is for the university lecturers, but then again, looking into our Ministry of Education, we have the government coming in and saying, yes, we are ready for, grade 9, and then here are teachers saying you have to make sure that you do what you're supposed to. I hear it's because of the CBA agreement, the 2012-2015. Where do you think our education ministry is right now?
It's in a mess. Just like most of the systems that we have, including that of healthcare. And I think it's in a mess because even parents are confused about the grade 9, grade whatever issue, and JSS, and where we go from now. You have seen that recently we saw parents who are complaining that their children sat a fake KPSEA exam. Which also tells you that such things should inform you are indicators of a big mess within the system. That it has allowed loopholes for other things that should not happen to happen. And through all that confusion, then we are likely to lose an entire generation in the confusion, in the mix. So I think there is a lot to be desired, and the government should really rein in on the education sector through the Ministry of Education to bring order, because currently there is no order.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you can get the story also on fake KPSEA papers. School managers have been held because of that. The number of pupils who sat for the KPSEA assessment papers at the Silverbell Academy, that was in the Eldoret. 23 students, I think, did fake KPSEA exams. That is in that is in Uasin Gishu County. You can get that on the last page of the Daily Nation, and also the story on the disappearances is still there on the Daily Nation page.
Yes.
I don't know if we have anything about education on the Star. I didn't see it this morning. Yeah, I think today the dailies Kenya walikuwa tunataka to welcome our new deputy president
with the decorum.
With the decorum. That is true.
Again, commenting on the issue of lecturer strike. Over the 2 weeks, you have seen that the government can actually be so efficient. Let them do this for them.
For the teachers.
Yes.
Yes.
For once.
For once.
Yes, at least a good thing that we can see. And remember, I'm sorry for interrupting, but remember, there are other teething issues that have come up as a result of the mess that we are experiencing in the education system, including because of now the confusion. There is also confusion on the side of culture versus what we have in the education system. Because parents do not understand, especially for those who have held the long practice of initiation of boys after class 8. There is a bit of confusion now. Do we now, or do we not?
So the culture who believe that after class 8 you have to.
Yes. So I think because of that confusion, and that confusion comes because of lack of preparation in advance when rolling out such new systems. So I think the government should also up its game so that we avoid other problems that emanate from the problems that we already have.
Yeah, and now that we are over the DP saga, I'm hoping that this is going to be effective as soon as possible. And my producer tells me that we are out of time. Unfortunately, time is never enough to go through the dailies, but we can't live without our guests giving us their parting shots. So let me start with the lady, Shiro.
As I had said earlier, I'm so happy to be here. It was a good session. We wish Professor Kindiki the best as he assumes office, and we also wish William Ruto the best as he runs the government. To our son from Lima, Mheshimiwa Rigathi Gachagua.
Oh, I'm sorry for cutting you short. Shiro, there is Professor Kithure Kindiki, the incoming deputy president. He has just arrived at the KICC for his swearing in ceremony. Wow, watu ni wengi, watu walienda wengi. Yeah, remember he's going to be sworn in as the third deputy president. We really do hope him the best. You can continue and read more about him, because this is a man, but it's going to be a long walk. This is a man who has gone through a lot. Back then when President William Ruto was trying to look for a running mate, he had first chosen him, and then of course went on to settle with the outgoing deputy president Rigathi Gachagua. But it is long awaited. It has been long awaited. Finally, he gets to sit on that seat, the second most powerful seat, because he's just right next after the president. And you can make sure that you catch that live proceeding. Make sure that kwa mzalendo. You can say, I love how our country is beautiful. See how that building is beautiful. You can go ahead and follow the proceedings. I'm sure that Zishanza and the swearing in is going to kick off as soon as possible. They are our leaders. You can see they are already there. And Shiro, I cut you short. I am very sorry. Kindly continue.
I was wishing Rigathi Gachagua peace that surpasses all human understanding. Yeah. May you make a comeback. We hope that you make a comeback, and we hope that we'll see you around. To my people in the Democratic Congress, tuko ndani, tunaendelea, and we hope to engage more. To my people in Murang'a, salamu mingi, nitakuja nyumbani.
Utaenda nyumbani.
Utaenda after this.
Thank you so much. And Ndegwa, give us your parting shot.
My parting shot will be in form of congratulations to both of our sons. Both sons of Murima. And to congratulate His Excellency Kithure Kindiki. You have done well for yourself, good sir. And that is commendable. You have shown persistence and consistency in your political journey. It is a good thing for you and even for the nation, because I believe now we also have another servant in the office. But there is a lot that awaits you, and that includes telling the president the truth when he's naked, and you must do that. Also, congratulations to His Excellency Rigathi Gachagua, another man who has also done well for himself. And I'm saying congratulations to him right now, because now he has opened a new level in politics. A new level where he can influence even without a position in office. A new position now where he can take further his love for his people and for the people of Kenya by sasa kupeleka mapambano mbele. Sasa mapambano ndio yanaanza. And for him, there is a huge shoe to be filled in the opposition side, Raila's shoe. And I think this man fits the bill in terms of trying to influence, to play oversight on the side of government, to ensure that what the people are promised is given to them, and that the people are given what is due to them. So congratulations to both of them, and to our very good sir. It's not the end of the road. Sasa mapambano ndio yanaanza. He has come at the right time.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you so much. That is Ngugi Ndegwa and Shiro wa Chief. But other name aliniambia ni Gladys. I don't know why she likes Shiro wa Chief sana. But thank you so much for making it for our newspaper review this morning. And to you back at home, thank you so much for joining us. It is always a pleasure to bring you what is going on in the country and to update you on the current affairs of our beloved country, Kenya. My name is Ruth Wanjiru. I do hope that you're going to have a beautiful day. But before we go, do remember that it is our Partners Week. By the way, happy new month. It's a new month. It's November. Happy new month. And you know that in our first month we do our partnership week. It is our partnership week. My pay bill number is 171133, account Oracle TV. Make sure that you're partnering with us kwa hii wiki yote. And of course, do stay tuned for more programs that are yet to come right here on Oracle TV. My name is Ruth Wanjiru. Have a good day.